about 20, 30 seconds.
23 seconds.
All right, Senator Marty, who had the catalytic converter measure on the floor, will start, then we'll have other members, and then we'll go to questions. So.
Thank you. I'm Senator John Marty, and we were trying to bring out of committee Senate File 2491, which is a bill that would address catalytic converter theft. It's very similar to a bill we first introduced about 3 years ago, been asking for a hearing year after year, repeated requests each year. Have tried to bring it up on the floor in other ways, have been denied. I haven't given a single reason. I haven't been told any explanation, no excuses, no arguments on why we shouldn't address it. Silence. And this is an urgent issue. It's something that after waiting for 3 years, at the end of each session when we can't get a hearing, when we can't get the bill considered, I keep hearing from people saying, well, what are we going to do? And every year we hear more catalytic converter thefts. And the recent story headline, catalytic converter thefts spike across Twin Cities suburbs. And for whatever reason, Minnesota is one of the highest states in terms of catalytic converter thefts. We have legislation, a very simple solution, doesn't cost money. It avoids all the things about trying to label all the catalytic converters in advance. We simply make it a crime to possess a used catalytic converter that's not attached to a car unless it's got the vehicle identification number on it. It's a very simple process. You don't have to label them all ahead of time because you don't have any problem unless it's taken off of the car. A muffler shop or you doing your own repairs on a car, taking it off, or a scrap dealer who's taking apart the cars, they have to mark it. 16-digit number, they can write it on there with a magic marker if they want. It's all it has to do, because the cops are saying right now, they've stopped, I've heard this from St. Paul and Maplewood and other cops, they'll stop a car that has 5 or 6 of these converters in the back seat, sawed-off converters with the Sawzall, and they can't do anything because they have no proof it was stolen property. With this, we're saying it's a crime to possess a used one if it doesn't have the marking on. Very simple thing. The Auto Theft Investigators, an international group, endorsed this bill saying it would be a model for how other states should address the problem. No state has proposed this before, but it's real simple because you don't have to do anything until you take the converter off the car. A legitimate removal is easy to do and easy to mark. A thief, well, they could put a phony number on, but cops can figure that out immediately by running the number. If it's the legitimate number from the car, they can call the owner of the car and find out if it was given to this person or if it was stolen. But 99+%, I'm guessing, the converters are being sold, scrap metal dealers and so on are stolen. And we ought to crack down on it now. And we had a shooting in St. Paul a couple months ago from somebody who was trying to stop a theft of their catalytic converter. I think Senator Putnam mentioned the shooting in St. Cloud related to one of these. It's a growing problem, and we're hearing it from all over the state, from Moorhead, Redwood Falls, Rochester School Bus Company last year, 24 school buses hit one night. In my own district, we had one condo-owned person who told me that they had two catalytic converters stolen out of a locked garage under the condo. And this is a growing problem. There's no excuse for it, and I'm very disappointed, again, that they're refusing to take it up, that they don't see it as urgent, and anybody who's had a converter stolen will tell you it's an urgent problem. Happy to stand for questions, but several others are going to tell stories of situations they've seen. Go ahead.
I just want to share my catalytic converter stolen story, which is Keystone Community Services, where they have 2 mobile food trucks, and the catalytic converter on both the trucks were stolen. So they could not provide food to people that they're usually serving with their mobile food trucks until they could get those replaced, and it's going to cost them between $5,000 and $7,000, which could have gone into food for people who have food insecurity. So I see this as a very serious problem. I don't understand why it hasn't given a hearing, why it's not been brought to the floor. It seems like a simple solution for us to address the problem.
Chuck Wiegers, Maplewood. Catalytic converter thefts are occurring as we sit here throughout the state. It has doubled in several counties in Minnesota. That's documented. Law enforcement is asking for our help. Senator Marty provides a remedy. At least let's have a right to be heard. In my own district, in Matamidi, students, 8 of them had catalytic converters taken from their car while they were in school out of the parking lot. And where I live in northern Maplewood, there is a number of reports continually. The number one part of our metro area where there are these thefts is in Maplewood. And I have seen neighbors now that will not park on an open street in parking lots because of the high incidence. We need to do something. We have a remedy. Please, let's get this done.
I'm Senator Ann Johnson Stewart from Plymouth, Minnetonka, and Woodland. I own a small company. We have a fleet of 12 construction vehicles, and we park them outside our office every night. I consider it a lucky night or week when we don't lose a catalytic converter. So I think there's other fleet owners who certainly share the same concern as I do. I also want to remind the press that Senator Miller recused himself today, and that might be some question you would ask him. I just want to bring it to your attention, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Jim Carlson. I represent Egan and Burnsville, and I need to put a little bit more pressure on the people that are withholding this bill from being considered and even discussed. My police chief in Egan, I've been working with him on this, and he actually would be here today, but they have some commitments, one of them being that, just so you're aware, we are doing a catalytic converter painting event in our community today. That's today, Saturday. He said in the past, he said, I could get residents up there if Senator Marty needs help, we can get people up there. He said the residents are pissed. So this is what the police are telling us. They're telling me that I need to get something done. And this morning he said, thanks for the update. This is a state problem, not a local problem, and it should be addressed, or it shouldn't be addressed by the local ordinances. So we're hearing from police and we're not listening. And now this morning I had to sit through a couple of comments about how we don't support the police, but you know what? We are listening to the police, and the people that made these comments are evidently not listening to police. So this is a serious issue, and it's going to get more serious. My police chief said that it's going to escalate to where someone who catches someone underneath their car, they're going to be bringing out their firearm, and then there's going to be something that could be really serious. So this is a serious issue, and it's a serious issue enough in all communities. 2 doors away from me, a Prius had its converter stolen from the driveway. So this is right in our own districts, right in our own neighborhoods, and it could be in our own driveways. So thank you for paying attention to this.
All right, we have time for questions.
Senator Marty, there's got to be some reason, even privately, that they've given you for standing in the way of this?
No reason, private or public. I've asked many times. It's in Commerce Committee last year, though it would normally go through Judiciary Committee as well. I asked Senator Limmer last year, why could he hear the bill first and then send it to Commerce? No, we don't do that. I said, haven't you heard from any of your constituents? He tells me the guy across the street had one being ripped off his RV. I mean, everybody sees it happening, and why they won't. I mean, we've had total silence. And I'm glad, I mean, I was told by the House author, the Commerce chair there, he said that Senator Dames told me we weren't going to take anything that affected scrap metal dealers or auto dealers, and our bill doesn't touch any of the auto dealer things. The House had a provision on that, but this doesn't need that.
Do you happen to know how much money the scrap dealers are making? I mean, because they're presumably opposed to this.
I can't picture an honest scrap dealer would care about this, would be opposed to it, because frankly, they're the only ones who would be allowed, licensed scrap dealers or registered scrap dealers would be the only ones who would be allowed to purchase a converter under this. They couldn't purchase one without a VIN number, a vehicle identification number on it. And, you know, they'd have to track it. We do require them to track it. We'd have them put it in a database and require them no more cash transactions. I talked to one scrap dealer last year. We told him we were going to ban cash transactions. Oh, we just bought a cash machine. It's an expensive thing. And you know, they're making, you can sell a used converter up $700, $800 now for some, depending on the model and how old it is and so on, but $400, $500, $600, $700 for a used converter, just to melt it down. Senator Swedzinski last year, when he first started working on this bill, when he first heard about it, he said, I was telling him why they're stealing them, because they have trace amounts of precious metals, rhodium, palladium, platinum. Rhodium is 12 times the price of gold, $26,000 an ounce. He said, you know, you bolt something worth 12 times the price of gold under your car, you think you might have a problem? And we do, and it's like a tin can, there's no labeling on it of any sort. And again, House and these police departments, they're trying anything they can do, just put the VIN numbers, mark the converters ahead of time, then if it's stolen, you got a better chance. But we're simply saying you can't possess one without the number on. And so anybody who takes it off, it's their responsibility to put it on there. And all the legitimate people, they've got an easy way to do it. We allow it even by a magic marker. You just write the VIN number on. A thief could do the same thing too, but then you track the VIN number and cops know right away it's stolen or a phony number.
Senator Prince, you're on Jobs, Commerce. Last year, the Commerce bill had some provisions related to catalytic converters. Cops told me that they didn't do anything. Is there going to be anything, apparently that bill's wrapped now. Is there anything in there about catalytic converters?
There is not. And I think you're all asking the question that Senator Marty is putting before you, which is, what is the reason that we would oppose this? We're asking the same question. What is the argument against it? That's the fun part of this place. What's your argument? What's your argument? And we're not hearing the argument against this. And Senator Marty's plan is exactly what should happen. It is very unintrusive, it doesn't cost any money, and it would slow the thefts. I think that's what Minnesotans want us to do.
Senator Lopez-Franzen, can you take questions on just the global state of affairs right now? How do you see things progressing? The tax bill appears to be the closest, but all the spending bills, most of them seem still to be a little apart.
Well, there's slow progress, slower than I'd like to see. We came in the Senate at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before the end of session, so that tells me they are really far apart on certain issues because we would be taking up bills by now. We're running out of time. A bonding bill takes a lot of time to process. We were supposed to talk about it last night. The Republicans wanted to talk about it today, and we have not talked about it today.
Is midnight Sunday even realistic anymore? A lot of you have been around here a long time. This, even for you guys, this is pushing. I mean, this is getting late.
It is. I just don't see how you can process all the paperwork. We will take some bills up later today, but I don't see the big bills that we're expecting, like taxes, which is almost wrapped up as well, but that's probably going to be at the tail end, as you can imagine, with bonding. And just on bonding, it just takes too long to process all these different provisions together in one bill. It takes hours and hours, and we're running out of time for that one. So I hope we can get to an agreement and maybe even go on overtime to get it done. But we can get to an agreement, I believe, on major pieces like taxes is close. But the other ones, Health and Human Services, we're stuck on mental health provisions that we can't agree on, which is beyond me. And if you want to ask more, Senator Isaacson has the latest. But there are certain things that we want to get done. And certainly public safety is a huge issue. When we talk about crime, we want to prevent it. This is why catalytic converters are part of preventing crime. We spend much more resources, as you heard, for law enforcement dealing with this issue than nonviolent crime, where that's where they should be focusing on. So we think the provisions and the bills that we're bringing up on special orders, because that's the only way to bring them up to the forefront on the Senate floor with this Republican majority, is the way we can tell Minnesotans that we have solutions that we need to be heard. So we're trying to make progress on them behind the scenes, but it really should be in a committee process. It should be where everybody has visibility to what we're discussing.
Senator Lopez-Franzen, it strikes me that unless the governor calls a special session, you all and your minority counterparts in the House are not going to be able to read any of these bills before they pass, if there are deals reached. Does the governor need to call a special session, if even for that?
Well, I think it's a bit premature because we don't necessarily need to pass all these bills. The bills that we should pass, quite frankly, is a bonding bill, because this is a bonding year. We have a supplemental year for budgeting purposes, so technically speaking, we don't need to pass a budget, but we like to pass a budget because we agreed on an overarching global agreement. And education, we are hearing from schools, we are hearing from parents, that we have an opportunity here to fund a lot of the aspects that we're hearing are problematic and are challenges in our community. So we're going to miss a big opportunity if we don't do that. But again, I think if we can come to agreement in the next few hours, because we need to process paperwork, that's just the reality of this work, and giving the revisor's office enough time, because we know it does take time. We are running out of it. I brought my suitcase, so I'm here to work. I literally brought my suitcase, and I'm ready to be here until tomorrow to get it done.
Senator Wiegers, you've been here forever. I think since statehood.
Not as long as me.
Yeah, well, the two of you have been here since statehood, essentially, along with Senator Marty. Where does this rank, in terms of, there's always been certain levels of dysfunction, but it seems like with each passing year, it gets worse and worse. Just put it from your own perspective.
Well, this is certainly a challenge, but I would be guardedly optimistic that it does come to a peaceful conclusion, and I'll speak to the E12 bill. There are shared themes on literacy success. There is a shared theme on the cross-subsidy in special education, and we need to continue to work on that. There's an exchange of offers. There's $1 billion. We want to make sure the schools are going to get that. It's needed, and it's been a part of the overall package, and even though we have less than 2 days left, I do believe for E12 that it will come together. So on literacy and special education, we need to amplify a few additional themes on that tie in with literacy. It's connected with many other aspects. For example, early education, the importance of diversity amongst teachers, mental health. Senator Isaacson mentioned is working on that. And so there's other parts of this global agreement that are in play, but I would be optimistic. There's plenty of agreements that have been reached so far. So I'll also add, it's in every incumbent's best interest to reach an agreement. So I think it'll all get done.
So I have a text or an email here that says that Nelson and Marquardt are going to announce a tax agreement today at 3:30. So is that gonna get everything else moving, do you think?
Well, I would say that will probably be the last bill we pass, but it hopefully is an incentive and a carrot about getting something relief for seniors, relief for Minnesotan families, and I have a little visibility about it, but I won't burst their bubble. We'll wait and see to 3:30, and I think that it would be another missed opportunity to give the tax relief we want to working families and Minnesotans. So more to come, but I think that is that would be the carrot at the end of the trail.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you.